Do you like getting presents? Are you afraid of presenting? What about presenting presents? Today we're looking at word stress and why it's so important when you're speaking or also when you're listening. Are you ready? Let's get started. Welcome to the Coffee Break English show. I'm Nick.
And I am Anabel. How are you doing, Nick?
I'm really good. Yeah, I'm really good. I'm looking forward to this lesson. What about you? How are you?
Yes, I'm looking forward to it because you mentioned that it's a stress, but What is exactly stress and why is it important in English?
Yeah, so stress is very important when we want to show the meaning of a word because we put a lot of the meaning in a sentence on those important words in the sentence.
Okay.
So it can really help your listening and your communication.
Okay, so what exactly are we going to be covering in today's episode?
So today we're looking at syllable stress.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll cover what is a syllable
Mm-hmm.
and we'll look at some general rules that we can apply when we talk about word stress.
Okay.
So they are with two-syllable nouns, two-syllable verbs, and how some words change meaning depending on stress.
Okay, and you mentioned syllable many times. Exactly what is a syllable and can you give some examples?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Nick. So this is nice and easy because Nick has one syllable.
Okay.
So a syllable is a sound that has one vowel in it at least.
Okay.
It can have a consonant. So my name is a few consonants and a vowel. So Nick.
Okay.
What about your name?
So my name is Anabel. So I'm guessing is A-na-bel, 3 syllables?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we are looking at two-syllable words, nouns and verbs.
Yeah. So we're looking at nouns and verbs that have 2 syllables in them.
Okay.
And the good news is that there are some general rules that we can apply here that help us understand which syllable to stress.
Awesome. So shall we start?
Yeah, let's get started. So number one, we'll look at two-syllable nouns.
Okay.
Now, the rule here is 90% of two-syllable nouns.
Okay, I like numbers, especially if it's 90%. Okay.
It's a nice, strong number here, so we can be pretty sure that two-syllable nouns will be stressed on the first syllable.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see.
There are obviously some exceptions, but this is when we're learning new words, we can be pretty sure that if it's 2 syllables, it's a noun, it'll be the first syllable.
Okay, do you have some examples?
Yeah, let's look at a few clear examples. So the first one is table.
Okay, so for this, what if you say it, then I repeat it, and then maybe at home they can repeat after me?
Yeah, that sounds great.
So can you repeat it again, please?
So table.
Okay, so table.
Yeah.
The stress is in the first syllable, so
exactly.
Table.
Brilliant. Next one, music.
Music.
Exactly. Next one is doctor.
Doctor.
Yeah. And picture.
Picture.
Yeah. So obviously I'm giving a lot of emphasis on that sound. And maybe when we're speaking fast, you don't hear it quite as clearly as that. But certainly when we're speaking, we can hear that strong sound on table.
Okay, no, yeah. Okay.
On to the next rule. So we've looked at nouns, and there's quite a strong rule, quite an easy rule to follow with 90%. But with verbs, with two-syllable verbs, it's 70%.
It's still quite high, but yeah.
We need to be a little more careful, but we still got that nice rule that we can follow. And here the rule is that two-syllable verbs are stressed on the second syllable normally.
Okay, so the nouns, the stress is on the first syllable, but with verbs, it tends to be on the second syllable.
Exactly.
Okay.
So some examples. So like before, if I say the first word, I want you to repeat it and you can say it more naturally than me. Relax.
Relax.
Yeah. Decide.
Decide.
Compare.
Compare.
And believe.
Believe.
Excellent. Great. So we've looked at the two-syllable rules for nouns and for verbs. Now, let's see how that works when we have a word that is the same as a noun and as verb, but it kind of changes a bit the meaning.
Now I see what you mean. Like the stress is important because like depending on where the stress is, we are going to have a noun or a verb, right?
Exactly.
Oh.
And sometimes these words have a similar meaning and sometimes it's quite different. So it does make a big difference in our communication.
Yes, let's look at some.
So, well, the one that we used at the beginning of the show was the word present. Okay. So a present, this is a noun, and it means a gift, something that you give to someone. Whereas if I say present, it's a verb. And here it means to show or to talk about something and to present the Coffee Break English show. For example.
I see. So present is a gift and present it's the verb, it's to show.
So we can see there's a difference in meaning there, absolutely. And here you can present someone with a present.
Oh, yes, lovely.
Yeah. The next one, we've got record. So a record, well, this could be various things. It could be in music, like the disc. It could be a document of some kind. Or it could be like the world record, like the fastest mile or something. And then we have to record.
Okay.
So what we are doing right now is we are recording this episode of the Coffee Break English show.
Okay, so record and record.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, and what happens there with that sound, with record, you can hear it's really open, strong sound. Whereas with record, it's a very short sound and we don't really hear that sound very strongly.
Okay, yes.
The next one, a contract.
Okay, yeah. So, that's the noun because of the stress.
Exactly. And that is a legal document. But the verb form is very different. So if I say to contract, this means to get smaller, to shrink and to minimize. So it's very different.
Yeah. So, yeah, as you said at the beginning of this episode, stress is very important.
Yeah, it can really change the meaning of the sentence that you're saying. So I did mention there are quite a few exceptions and we can have a look at them now. So there are two types of exception to this rule, really. We can look at some nouns and verbs have the same word.
Yes.
And in fact, the stress doesn't change.
Okay.
So first, let's look at verbs or nouns that are always stressed on the first syllable. Okay?
Yeah.
So we've got comment. So I can have a comment.
And you can comment, no?
Exactly.
Okay.
But here it's not comment, but
comment.
I can comment.
Okay.
So it doesn't change the stress, but you can have a comment and you can comment.
Okay, I see.
Then the next one we can say is cover. So sometimes in this room it can get quite cold and we might want to put a cover on and warm ourselves up. And you can also cover yourself.
Okay, yes.
The sound doesn't change. The meaning is similar here, but one is a noun, one is a verb.
But we don't follow that rule that you mentioned. It's always going to be on the first syllable.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can have a look at another one. Well, we've got the word purchase. Again, the meaning is similar here.
Yeah.
But the noun, what's the noun?
Purchase.
Yeah. And the verb?
Purchase as well.
Exactly. And this one, sometimes we do hear that mistake because people are using that rule rightly, but it's an exception.
Okay, no, I see. And what about the other exception that you mentioned?
Yes. So some words always take stress on the second syllable.
Okay.
An example could be the word award.
Oh, because we have the physical object, award, but we also have the verb to award.
Exactly. You can award someone an award.
Yes. And the stress does not change.
It's always on that second syllable. Another good example is the word belief.
Oh, I see.
Now, this does change a little bit because we changed the f to a v sound, and we changed the spelling, but our belief becomes to believe.
Okay, yeah.
So it's always on that second syllable, and the meaning, again, is quite similar here. Another example could be report.
Yeah, so we have a report, but we also can report something or someone.
Exactly. Yeah. And these words, you can see that they're kind of keeping the same idea, the same general meaning here. So it's not changing completely in meaning, but it's not changing in sound either.
All that seems very interesting. So thank you very much, Nick. I think at the beginning of this episode, you mentioned that we are going to have a quiz.
Yes, absolutely. And yeah, I think that it's really important to get a bit of practice with this.
Yes, I know I need it.
And that's because we need to tune into those sounds, both for listening and for speaking, for those sounds where it's the first syllable or the second syllable.
Yes.
So let's do this quiz. I'm going to give you a sentence with a little space in the sentence where we'll put a beep so you know.
Perfect.
And I want you to decide if it's a noun or a verb. In the first sentence, we've got import or import.
Okay.
Okay. Ready?
Yes.
Remember, you can pause if you're listening or watching, so you can play along with this. So the first one, we had to our car from Japan.
Okay. So it's we had to. We need a verb after that. And we have import or import.
Yeah.
The verbs have the stress on the second syllable. Yeah. So it's we had to import.
Great. I really liked your reasoning on that.
Excellent.
Brilliant. And the context is really important here. So
yes.
Okay. Shall we look at number 2?
Yes.
So in sentence 2, we've got the noun present or the verb present.
Perfect.
Okay. So I will my findings at the meeting tomorrow.
Okay. I think, at least to me, this is easy because you started with I will, and then there we have the blank. So again, we need a verb. Yep. So I will present.
Good, yes. And good pronunciation there. That's a nice, strong present. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm ready for the next one.
Okay, brilliant. So this one, okay, the first two were a little easier. Now we've got 2 words in our sentence, okay? So 2 spaces. So let's go. The is making, and the words here are project and project, progress and progress.
Okay. So can you repeat the sentence again?
The is making.
Yeah. The first one is a noun because we are starting with the. So the project with the stress on the first one because it's a noun. And then the second one is making. I guess we need a noun again. So it's progress. Again, with the stress on the first syllable.
Brilliant. Absolutely. 2 nouns in this one. So so
great.
The project is making progress.
Awesome.
Okay. So final one.
Okay.
And again, we have 2 words. Okay. And this time the word is record.
Yeah. So we have 2 blanks, but the options are the same.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Shall we go?
Yes.
So we need to
Okay, so we need to verb the noun. So we need to record the record.
Excellent. Yeah, exactly. And you can really hear those sounds coming through there. So record, long, and record, short. Long on the re and short on the second syllable. Yeah. So brilliant.
No, thank you very much. Okay. I found this very useful, so thank you.
Great. No, and thank you very much, Anabel, for joining me today. I've really enjoyed this. That's all we have time for. And if you do want more practice with your pronunciation, you can go to this video here and you will find the description. You'll find the link in the description as well.
And we have a written version of this in a blog article. The link is on the description, so don't forget to check it out.
Great. Thank you very much, Hannah.
No, thank you. And thank you as well for listening or watching. I think you found this as useful as I did. So thank you both.
Happy copy breaking.
You have been listening to a Coffee Break Languages production for the Radiolingua Network. Copyright 2025 Radiolingua Limited. Recording copyright 2025 Radiolingua Limited. All rights reserved.